title, my therapist attempts to get me to unpack the meaning behind my fear of love during our first appointment, which is in the middle of a heat wave, and I, against better judgment, wax poetic. Some days are so hot. I can't be bothered by semantics, Doc. And let grammar too go unremembered for an extra breath when needed. When I say I don't want love, pick a meaning, it's fine. I've met them all, any will do. Sure, I have felt the trickle of sweat between my thighs become a semicolon. The conjoining thought be how untouched my trauma shames have let me let myself go. I've let myself go, and I got as far as my side of the bed. Hide under my covers like thread through a needle, a semicolon. Sure, I miss kissing. Intimacy became a casualty when I surrendered myself to the truth. My body is a minefield, a garden. Seeds were planted, red bloomed here, semantics. So I don't tread, don't reap, focus on what I can make without touch, what soil doesn't know itself to be wet, what I can think into existence. Still, the lovers has come up in 5 readings I've done for myself on questions that were not about love. Forging parentheticals into spaces I take to breathe, like I'll ask, when will I get a paying job? And the lovers will appear. I'll ask, should I move to another state? And the lovers will appear, as if to suggest love be central to clarity. Suggest I've been staring down a wound the shape of an empty silhouette. Big enough could take up the other side of my bed. No, sometimes I wish for fewer things to feel. Sometimes I wish to be a factory, and sometimes I have been. But never when I've wished it. Never out of desire, and I work, and I make, and my body would write trickles of sweat, and some men decided their own meaning for that sweat. Semantics, am I right? So when I say I don't want love, sure, pick at meaning until red blooms. This garden is beautiful this time of year. Sure, I understand that love is not trauma, semantics, but trauma informs. Trauma has been using the same textbook since before the textbooks had defined trauma itself. Is it hot in here, or is it just all these commas I was trying to avoid? The lovers call for harmony, connection, unity, communication. You know, I do wonder who I am when I am not performing something. Strength, fatigue, hurt, self-awareness. Sometimes I look in the mirror and don't think I'm looking quite at myself. Instead, an empty silhouette. And I think I'm supposed to fill her up, but how do I do that without touching her, knowing our history of touch? Sometimes I wish for fewer things to feel. Do I treat my body like a wound? Only when it hurts. When does it hurt? When it is a weapon. Semantics can't be abandoned at this point, can it? Even though some days are so hot, they seem to defy language altogether. Sometimes I wish that level of defiance for me, to exist beyond what can be named and thus even be surreal or but I'm real. So is a mirror a healing? Don't act like you don't understand what I'm saying. Is healing a semicolon? Or the thoughts on either side seeing themselves in each other? Do they need to touch? The lovers, am I supposed to be both? I don't believe I have to love myself before I love someone else, but am I supposed to love myself before I can love myself? Do you know what I mean?